Welcome back to What's Good Signal, where we like to recognize different companies, different vendors, different business partners, and different teams for going above and beyond. And today I have with me the CEO of Workzone, Rick Mosenkis, and also Roger Berry, the project manager at Signal Financial. And we wanted to recognize Rick and the Workzone team for really having not only an amazing product, but having an amazing customer service and partnership to help us through our projects, not just normally, but through this pandemic time. They really have been amazing. They have been the tool that we've used to help us be successful in completing projects. So first of all, welcome, Rick.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
And also along with Rick, we have Roger Berry, as I mentioned. Welcome, Roger.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
I guess, Roger, could you start off by sharing a little bit, since you deal with the system the most and with Rick's team the most, a little bit about how Workzone has helped you and the company and how the partnership has been beneficial?
Absolutely. I utilize Workzone on a day-to-day basis. As a project manager, I think that I understand all the different ins and outs of project management, but I think what's really important is to have a tool that is intuitive, that is easy to use, and it can also handle the capacity of all the different projects that we need to accomplish across the board. And Workzone has really been able to help us to be that tool. But I think that also the on the other side of the coin is that it's not just the system, but also the people, right? The staff that can really help you to troubleshoot any kind of questions that you have, that can really be train you, that can really be there supportive. And I also want to recognize the team, the Workzone team, to always being able to answer any questions that I have, to check in with me on a quarterly basis, to be very responsive and to really have a great ability for follow through. So shout out to Julia, because she's been really, really amazing working with me over the past different months.
And I gotta tell you, Rick, our CEO loves the system, not because it's a good tracking tool, but because it really helps people stay focused, and seeing people be able to update things regularly, seeing how far they're accomplished. I think it helps him feel satisfaction, but also all of us that are working on the projects. It gives us satisfaction being able to see how far we've come and what we've done and seeing the history of it. And it's just, like you said, a very user-friendly tool. So, Rick, can you share a little bit about what you're doing with your team and what you've seen help out others through your times and travels?
I'm sure. So this is obviously a crazy time for all of us. I think for Workzone folks, maybe a little less crazy than for most, because the idea of remote working is not new for us. I would say everyone in the company before the pandemic worked at home at least a couple days a week. And so we've just shifted from part-time remote to full-time remote. Obviously, that has sort of other social issues. Are we making sure we're getting enough connection? But that transition wasn't as hard as for many of our customers, where this is the first time they've ever not been able to go into the office. And so that's been basically something that we've been helping people through, and just sort of coaching them with what we've learned to do ourselves. And obviously your situation is a perfect one, where the fact that people were already using an online tool like Workzone made it easier for them to continue that work from doing it from home, just as they were doing it in the office.
Yeah, it really has been amazing. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say is, and then obviously just trying to be compassionate to our own people and to our customers, because this is a hard time and a huge time of change. And so we were a pretty compassionate company to start with, but to really appreciate that this is a very strange, hard time for people. And whether it's our own people and making sure that they get the time they need, additional childcare demands, for instance, we hear frequently now, where you now suddenly have kids who are at home and can't spend the same hours working. Okay, well, being accommodating to that. And customers have different needs and different requests of us. So being accommodating that as well. So it's really, for us, it's more of the same, but just trying to be extra sensitive in areas where it's needed.
Well, it sounds like you have a great team, and you've provided them some great leadership. And thank you for the great tool and product you provide, because it really has helped us. We hear about other companies that have put projects on hold and decided not to move forward on their projects. And we've been fortunate enough to be able to move forward and complete projects. And these are some major ones, like overhauls on enhancing our e-services and everything. So So thank you so much for you and your team for everything you've done. And I got to ask you, on a personal note, I noticed that you have some hobbies on the side, and I asked you earlier, but I wanted you to elaborate a little bit. You do some woodworking on the side, and you built your conference room table for your company as well as your desk. Is that true?
It's true. I have to admit, so this goes a little ways back, and I was walking through a Home Depot, and I had sort of a primal urge to build things, but also a recognition that I didn't know the first thing about building things. So what I am good at, though, is learning. And so I actually enrolled in a community college woodworking class. And through that and taking 2 intensive classes, I became an amateur woodworker. And so I did, in fact, build my desk and the desk of my partner and a conference room table. I have to tell you, they're all really the same thing in slightly different shapes, but very proud of it. And yeah, that was a very fun hobby for me.
Well, that's a nice little personal touch to have in the company and in the office there. So, well, thank you again for everything you've done, and thank you for helping us get through this difficult time. And to your team for being such great partners and having such great service. I know Roger appreciates it. So thank you to you, and thank you to Roger, and thank you to everyone out there. I hope everyone's staying safe, and have a great week. See you next week.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.